Welcome back. Tackling the obesity epidemic in America. Later on this month, HBO will run a new multi-part documentary called The Weight of the Nation. And there's Austin ties to the documentary. Joining us live are the film's executive producer, John Hoffman, and State Comptroller Susan Combs, who's featured in the movie. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
First of all, this is just, not to put a pun on it, but a weighty, heavy project for the entire country, let alone Texas and Austin. John, tell us a bit about the project.
Well, when more than 2/3 of the nation is overweight or obese, and this is affecting the quality of life for all those people and their families, we have a problem on our hands. And the healthcare costs due to obesity are crippling our healthcare system. So the nation has got to come together to solve this problem.
And so you were telling stories, some Texas-based stories too, about individuals, kids and their families, and suffering through an obesity problem.
That's right. I mean, the problem is everywhere, and Susan has been working on this issue longer than I have, trying and really seeing that this wave of obesity is coming at us and that it's starting at younger and younger ages. And so we really were interested in her being a pioneer in this area and her seeing that in the schools we're not getting enough physical education. And so less than 2% of schools in this country, high schools in this country, have PE every day.
And Susan, you brought up a good point for parents. Do you know, parents, was your question to me, when your kids have PE, what they're doing in that class and what they're getting out of it. So take me back to '03 when you were first making a real impact in our kids' health.
During the legislative session of 2003, I tried to get some legislation passed in the House and the Senate that would change the nutritional content of foods and take junk food out. It was not successful, but in that summer, we were able to get USDA, the Department of Agriculture, to transfer the child nutrition program to me. Once I had the power of the purse in the schools, I was able to mandate that they change their food content. So in the summer of '03 and then '04, '5, and '6 and so on, we took out fried foods, we changed portion sizes, we changed everything about school lunches to make them more nutritional. We exceeded the national standards.
Fantastic. And now that you're state comptroller, you're incentivizing schools how?
Well, we were able to do, for 2 sessions, was to get $10 million a year to urge middle schools to have PE, and you got paid if you had PE, so that was actually pretty handy.
So it's a start point. I'm staggered at some of the numbers. Let me get the number right, 31.7 of our children and adolescents, 31.7% are considered obese or overweight. I just didn't think it was that high. I mean, we're talking about kids who obviously and parents taking health as a secondary tack right now. What can we do as parents, obviously watching the documentary on HBO and logging on to HBO.com, what can we do day to day?
I think that people don't understand that carrying too much weight affects almost every system in the body. They see it in a way that's just too benign. They don't really believe that it's as detrimental to our health as it is. The director of the National Institutes of Health, Francis Collins, asks in the film if your child was diagnosed with a brain tumor, if your child was diagnosed with with cancer, you would see that and act as in a critical fashion if you're a parent. He believes that obesity has to be treated the same way, and we're not doing it.
It struck me that you used the word epidemic in the documentary, not just a fad or a trend. This is a health crisis. Would you agree?
And it's getting worse.
Yeah.
We did some analysis of what it would cost businesses by 2030 if this trend is unchecked. Businesses, the private sector in Texas, will spend about $30 billion a year. And so it's going to hurt their bottom line. But of course, more importantly, it hurts people's quality of life.
Yeah.
If you are overweight, your knees get bad. People are having knee replacements. You get type 2 diabetes, which is not fun. You may have to take insulin shots. There's this whole chain of illnesses that are causally related to it, and that's actually terrible.
A little frightening. Well, listen, HBO is streaming all 4 documentaries free on HBO.com. Beginning May 14th, by the way, is when all this starts to happen. There's no feed access to the website and its contents, and they'll give you general public access to all the documentaries and info connected to the very important sounding documentary called Weight of the Nation. Thank you both so much for coming in. Hopefully there can be a difference made here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.